I know no one's here yet, but otherwise you're going to be looking at my nose because I can't see through that part of my glasses. Oh, there we go. These are just dirty. That's the only problem. Oh, well. Maybe I could find something to clean them off with here. Friday night. Everybody must be partying hard. I think these will be cleaner. Let's see. It's better. Hi, whoever's here. I'm just getting warmed up here. I had to switch my glasses over. Getting older and losing your eyesight is not fun. So I've been working today on my shrug tutorial, and now I just need to complete more rows on it. Oh, nobody's here now. That's okay. If this is a busy night, then I'll just try again another day. It's probably not night everywhere either. It's 7:10 here. So it's probably still pretty early in the day for some of my friends on the West Coast. Since I'm on the East Coast, is everybody enjoying their day? Enjoying their Friday? Oh, keep having somebody pop in and out. Or maybe it's different people popping in and out. We'll see if anybody can come out and play today. Come out wherever you are. I probably shouldn't sing songs that are real because I'll probably get hit for violating copyright. So I made a list of all the things I need to get done, and goodness, I have a long list for August. This coming week, I only have to work one day. I have to drive my kids back and forth from band camp. But I only have to work one day this week, so I'm going to try and jam as much as I can this week so that the pressure's off a little bit. I still have stuff that has to get done. It must be a busy weekend. I guess everybody's kind of also enjoying the last bit of the summer before school starts. Those of you who are affected by school. I only have, after this year, not including this year, but after this year, I only have 2 more first days of public school for my oldest and 4 more first days of school for my youngest. It's so weird to think of it that way. It's so weird to think, like, really, there's only 2 more and 4 more first days of school. If they go to college, I know there'll be more first days, but I'm talking about just like public school. If they're at college, they'll have to be responsible for getting their own. I mean, I give them lots of responsibilities, don't get me wrong. But they'll be more in charge of their time when they're at college than they are here, if they go. My youngest says he wants to be a plumber, so he wants to go to trade school. Nothing wrong with that. We'll see if he still wants to do that. So, it is a slow night, 5.5 minutes in, and nobody's on. I didn't give any warning either. Sometimes I don't know when I'm going to have a little bit of time. My husband and the boys decided to work on a woodworking project together, which is really cool for them. But it gave me a little bit of a chance here then to come on and hang out with some friends. So, and see how good I am at talking to myself. Oh my goodness. When nobody's watching, I think I'm better at talking to myself. Of course, nobody is watching, so I probably should just say that. Nobody's watching. You can just talk to yourself. I was going to do this crochet project anyway. I may as well do it in front of the video camera. Just trying to be careful that I said it correctly, because a lot of times I'll say, let's videotape that, and everybody's like, where's the tape? Yeah, good point. We don't have videotapes anymore, thankfully, but I'm just used to saying it that way. Growing up, that's what we said, videotape. So, how's the weather where you guys are? Is it hot today? I keep seeing one person, zero person, one person, zero person, one person. I don't know if it's the same person popping in and out, or if different people are popping in and out. And if it's boring leaving, I apologize if it's boring at the moment. I was hoping we could get some friends on and get some lively conversation going. It all depends on how good you are at talking to yourself until all that happens. I can't believe this summer is winding down. I really can't. Now it says there's 2 people. Anybody want to chat? Hi, Justin. How are you? Oh, Denise, how are you? I'm so glad to see both of you. I'm doing well. I'm just recovering from my vacation. Actually, I should say I'm recovered. We did pretty well with trying to eat well and sleep well while we were on vacation. You know how sometimes those 2 things can get really messed up when you're on vacation. It can just mess a lot of things up. But we did pretty well with our sleeping and eating, you know, making sure we ate not all junk. So, you know, it was not too bad coming home. The only bad thing is, like, I don't know about you guys, but when I go on vacation and have to sleep in a bed that's not mine and use pillows that aren't mine, oh, it's just a little bit more uncomfortable. Yes, I went to Indianapolis, which is about 10.5 hour drive, and we drove. We went to Gen Con, which is a gaming convention. It's mostly like board and role-playing games. They also have a really big crafting area. So while I was there, I taught a class on my dragon head dice bag, the crochet dragon head dice bag. And the class went really well. I didn't know exactly what to expect because I put in the class description that you already had to know how to crochet in order to take this class. So I was worried. I'm like, oh gosh, even if I have 1 or 2 in the class, well, even more would have been worse. But even with 1 or 2 that don't know how to crochet, it could it could really mess up the flow of the class. Justin said he drove from Georgia to California. Holy cow! Did you? I'm assuming you had to stay overnight, at least a few nights. That would be a really, really long drive straight through. Where in California did you go, Justin? Did you go somewhere special, or are you visiting people you know? But yeah, it ended up being a really, really fun day. 5 days. Oh, I can imagine. That must have been really tough. I mean, I thought 10 and a half hours was a tough ride. My husband did most of the driving. He did the whole drive. He did the whole drive on the way out. And then on the way back, he was feeling a little bit worn out. So I took a shift. And I did very minimal driving. I think, I maybe did an hour and a half of that 10 and a half hours. So it really wasn't much, but, I don't think it matters even if you're a passenger. It can be a really cramped up time. Thank you, Denise. So Justin, Northern California in a small town called Surprise Valley. Oh, that's a nice name, Surprise Valley. Jackie, hi, how are you? I'm so glad you popped into my live. We're just doing some little chit-chatting, kind of talking about vacations and stuff like that. Nothing too exciting. Hopefully we can get to the good stuff. Justin is on here, and he said that he just popping through. Oh, nice to see you. I'm glad you did. Justin was saying he drove from Georgia to California, 5-day drive. Whew. Yeah, it's pretty hot. I mean, I don't know where you are, Jackie, but I'm in Pennsylvania. It's pretty hot day. We were just kind of chilling out inside. I think tomorrow we're going to watch the newest Guardians of the Galaxy, because we noticed that it's on, I don't know, one of the streaming services. And although we wanted to go to the theaters to see it, we never did venture out to do that. Stuff it just pops, piles up. So, okay, I need to, Louisiana, high of, oh, you're in Louisiana. Yeah, it's probably hotter there than Pennsylvania. A high of 104, heat index 114. That had to have been miserable. Justin said 5 people sleeping in a car is a bit crowded. Oh gosh, you had 5 people in the car for 5 days. Ah. Oh my gosh. You must be young. Yeah, Jackie, I can't imagine 104. Whew. I wouldn't want to move either, move around. That's good indoor crocheting weather, right? How's your 80 theme stuff going, Jackie? I saw a lot of people were excited about doing that. I know I'm an 80s girl too. You could probably tell by my name. Did anybody see the movie Heathers that was out in the 80s with Winona Ryder in it? I hated that movie, not because of the content, but because of what it made Heathers look like. It made it seem like Heathers were all blonde, beautiful, snobby, whatever people. Oh, you never saw Heathers? You should try and find it. I don't know if it's streamed on anywhere. It's a total 80s movie. But the cliquey, blonde, beautiful women were... No, you never saw it either? Oh my gosh. Maybe because I was named Heather, that's why I saw it. But Winona Ryder, Winona... I think her last name is... I think it's who I'm thinking of. But she was in it. But the girls were... Hi, Heather in chat. Crocheting and Lurking. Guardians is streaming on Disney Plus. Okay, so that's where we're going to see it, because we have Disney Plus. But Heathers was about a group of girls all named Heather, and that's apropos because I think I graduated with 12 Heathers in my class. Yes, that's who it is, Jackie. I thought I was saying it right, and then I started second guessing myself. But the group of clicky girls was Heather, and then Winona, or I keep saying it wrong. It's not Winona, is it? Whatever her name is. She wanted to be part of that clicky group, and the Heathers were just mean and nasty to her. And truthfully, there were some girls in my school named Heather who were like blonde and clicky, but I didn't like that. I felt like after that movie I started getting judged for my name a little bit more. Like when people said, "What's your name?" and I said Heather, especially over the phone, you'd get that, "Oh, you're another Heather," like we don't want to know you. And I didn't think that was fair because I wasn't like that at all. So yeah, I was like the band geek. So I was the opposite of the beautiful clicky crowd. Sounds like typical teen girls. Yeah. Do you think it's better nowadays? I work at a middle school, and I mean, definitely there's still cliques and stuff like that, but in some ways I feel like it's better than when I went to school. And maybe it's just because I'm experiencing it in a different way than I did as a teenager. Like I'm an adult looking at kids rather than actually being in the kid. You think it's worse? Yeah, it's not fair. Yeah. So you do think it's worse, Jackie? It's a shame. I think the kids are worse overall. We keep having that discussion because we had our meetings for the beginning of the school year. We had it this past week, and then we have one more next week before school starts. But yeah, the behaviors of kids are definitely way worse. And maybe it's just my perspective, but hubby was a high school teacher, way worse. Yeah, maybe in the high school too, it's a lot worse. Yeah, I could see that. I'm glad I have all boys. Not that they think clicky things and, mean things don't happen with boys, but sometimes I feel like girls are way worse at that stuff. Like they can really, really tear down other girls. So Jackie, what is your favorite 80s thing that you've seen so far been? I've seen some sweaters with crazy 80s colors and oh my gosh, Teresa, I don't know if you saw her video today, but from Critters Crochet, but she made a cassette tape purse. That was really crazy. Roman MLWA should definitely do live part 3 since I missed 2. Oh, Teresa's bag. Yeah, I think that one's pretty cool. I'm sure that there's other stuff that I haven't seen. That's why I thought I would ask. So Joseph was asking about my oldest son, Roman. My oldest son, Roman, has a channel called Roman from My Life with Autism because he's autistic and he talks about living life as an autistic teenager. But Joseph, I'm seeing someone making a flash dance style sweater. Oh my gosh, I bet that is cool. But Joseph is friends with Roman. So I don't know. The live that you're talking about, he hasn't done a live for a while. That I know of anyway, unless he did one without telling me, but he usually tells me if he's going to do a live. So, flash dance style sweater, that's cool. Yeah, these kinds of things are really neat when, like, coming up with that kind of idea, like Jackie had with let's do 80s themes. That's really cool because it really gets the creative juices going. I really love when those type of ideas start popping up around YouTube. So thank you, Jackie. Thank you for bringing that idea and getting creative juices going. So what else is going on here? I love that. Oh, Jackie does too. Yes. Yes, that is so cool. And that's neat. Yeah, I graduated technically in the early 90s, but most of my high school was in the 80s and all of my middle school was in the 80s. So I remember those days. I certainly would not want to show anybody pictures of me from those days with the curly hair and the poof all the way up here, all the hairspray you had to put on to get your hair to stay like that. And my dad was allergic to something in hairspray, and it wasn't just one brand. Joseph, I'll answer that in a minute. Oh, okay. See you, Jackie. Thanks for popping in. That's awesome. It was great to see you. Joseph asked if Roman saw his short. Yes, I did show him that short, and he was like, "Hey, he took my idea," like in a teasing way. He wasn't being like, "Hey, he took my idea," but he was flattered that you liked his idea and then you ran with it. So that was neat, and it was neat that you kind of took his thought there and rolled with it. Does anybody else have any exciting plans with the rest of the summer, or is everybody kind of winding down and getting ready for fall? Well, that sounds fun. Joseph said he's going to a friend's party tomorrow. Awesome. Party hard. Don't drink too much soda. Anybody else doing anything exciting the rest of their summer? I'm getting to the time of year where I'm starting to think. My boys and I have a tradition that we always go to a local farm and do apple picking in the fall. So I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to think about that and think about what day we can do that. Haven't done anything at all. Aw, is there something you wanted to do? Something you can pop out there and do? I know our local farm, they always make it a lot of fun to go out and pick apples, and they have usually like cornhole games going, and they do hayride tours of their farm. Usually we make a really nice day out of it. My family used to do that. Yeah, I'm trying to treasure the time that I have because I know there's only a few more years that they're going to want to do that with me. I'm actually surprised that they still want to, given that they're 13 and 15. But they still said they want to do it, so I'm going to take. Oh, I'm sorry it's hard for you, Denise. You have to bring some fun to you. Tell your kids, bring some fun to me. We'll have to have some fun tonight then. What can we do? What can we talk about that would be fun? Yes, you should definitely cherish those moments. I do. And I like I said, I was surprised, when they still wanted to do these things. Like last year I was still surprised that they wanted to do it. This year they said they want to do it. So just, go with it, have fun. It always is a really fun time. Yeah, they have homemade apple cider, so we'll sit there and we'll have a lunch because they'll usually have a couple food trucks there, and then you can get apple cider. And they have a shop there, and they have a honey. They have like a bee honeycomb thing there, and they scrape off the fresh honey. And we used to buy the fresh honey, but now it is so expensive. of. I haven't checked lately in the stores. I'm guessing the price in the stores have also gone up, but I think they wanted something like, for a jar like about this big, I think they wanted something like $50. It was something that was totally outrageous. And I know that it was the fresh apple pie crafts, yum. I know it's like the fresh honey that you get off the combs, but oh my gosh, I felt like that was outrageous. So no, we don't get the fresh honey anymore, but they do apple crisps. Oh my gosh, apple cider, apple slushies. Trying to think. They do all kinds of really, really neat things. Yeah, it is crazy. It was like $50 for that size jar. I don't know. Maybe they didn't get as much honey as previous years, and that's why they're asking so much, but I don't think it's that expensive in the grocery store. I know it's not like the fresh, local stuff that I'm getting when I get it at the grocery store, but still, it's honey. Oh, you're making me want to go. Oh, too bad you're not close by. I would invite you to come with us and we could take you. Oh, I know it's when the boys were young, we used to pick a lot of apples, and it was hard to contain them when they were little because they wanted to take every single apple off the tree. I've been to different kinds of farms, and some farms will let you just pick apples and eat them there while you're picking. This place does not. So as soon as they pick one, we have to take it. So when they were young, it was like if they picked it, I had to take it. So we would pick a lot more apples because when they're young, it's harder to control them. So I used to make homemade applesauce and stuff with them. But when they were really young like that, I stayed home with them. I didn't work. So I had the time that I could do that. I miss that. I do miss like having more time. But now between work and their activities, because when they're real young like that, there's not, you know, not as many activities. Let's see. Denise said, my cousin has been and sometimes gives me some. Oh. It would be fun, Denise. I always think like it's a shame I can't like move all my YouTube friends close by. This has been just, I say it all the time, but this just has been, hi Joseph. Joseph's back. This has just been the best experience I think I could have had was starting this channel on YouTube and just all the great people that I've met. I love it. And then I got to reconnect with some family like Joseph. Joseph, I'm not exactly sure what you and I are, but I think that my kids are your third cousin. It would be nice. I've been lucky that I've been able to meet a couple people, Denise. It would be nice to meet you. I met Kenyatta when I went out to Indianapolis because she lives there. So when I was there on vacation, we got the chance to meet up. And I met Jenna from Jenna's Stitches because she came to Pennsylvania. She lives in New York, but she came to Pennsylvania for an event. And she's like, well, while I'm in Pennsylvania, I'm going to go and visit Heather. So she came over to my house. It was really, really nice. That was a really good visit because her husband and my husband got along really well, and Jenna and I got along really well. So maybe sometime we'll get another chance to meet up. She's been busy because she moved. So, that's difficult till you get settled into your new place. I'm trying to think. I don't think I met anybody else in person, but it's fun when you can. So Yeah, I miss seeing Jenna too. I miss it a lot. I think last I heard she's packing up where she's living now and getting ready to move to her new house. And she said all her yarn was packed up. So I guess that makes sense that she hasn't really been making any videos because she hasn't done a whole lot, given that everything's packed up. I can't imagine it would be so hard. Yes, they did find a house. That's the last that I heard, so I don't know a lot of details about it. I think that her kids are going to have to go to a new school, but her kids are still pretty young. Like I think one's going into first and one's going into fourth or something like that. So it's not like you're pulling somebody who's established in high school out and taking them to a new school. Kids usually can make new friends pretty quickly, little ones. Yeah, I'm so excited for her. I'm so excited for her. I hope she can get settled into that new house quickly and come back to us. So I would love to meet Jess from J Hook Magic too. She doesn't live too far away. Hi, Joanne. It's great to see you. I'm sorry I haven't been able to come to your past few lives. I was on vacation, so it was kind of hard for me to do that. But I need to go back and watch the replay because I'm just catching up on a lot of stuff. So you know how that is. But I was just going to say, Jess lives about 2 hours from me, which is close, but still, and it's hard because she has 3 kids and I have 2 kids, and our kids are about the same age, which would be fun if we could all meet and the kids could meet and everything. But between her 3 kids' activities and my 2 kids' activities and work and all that, it just hasn't really manifested for us to meet, but maybe someday. So let me see what Joanne said, because I missed that. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. I did have some fun. So, one of the things I did, I took a yarn spinning class. I had never done that before, and it was so fun. It was a lot of fun. I ended up coming home. I didn't bring the tool they gave me there. They didn't give you a real spinning tool because I think the person who taught the class didn't want to spend the money on it. But they gave you a stick with a CD or DVD, one or the other, wrapped around the top, and then there's a little hook coming off of that. And that's what you use to spin. But it just came today. I ended up getting a real spinning tool. You like the fat yarn I made? I like it too. There's so little of it though. I'm gonna have to make more of it so I can make a project. Someone said I could do like an applique, but I'm even thinking that would be kind of hard with that thick yarn and stuff. But yeah, I finally got the tool in and I ordered some raw raw wool like I was using in the class. So I'm hoping to make some more. So I love new tools too. This is nice. I like the design on the top of it. It's better than a CD being here. I don't know if it was a CD or a DVD, but I should go get it and show you. It's just right over here. Give me one sec. Sorry about that. This is what they gave us in class. It's a stick with this, I think it says like learn Spanish or something like that, and then like a hook on top. This is the real tool. So this worked for teaching us in class, which maybe it was probably smart of her to do that and not charge us more for the class to give us real tools, because some people might take the class and not enjoy it, and then they spent all that money on the tool. But I did take like a chainmail class. It was called Make a Byzantine Bracelet. I hated that one. I I'm not cut out for chainmail. Oh my gosh. And the tricky thing is, it was a beginner class. I had never done it before, so I didn't know what I was doing. And you're right, Denise, trying new things is fun. That's one of the things I really liked about going to Gen Con this year, was that I got to try a lot of new things. But and now I know that it's not something that I enjoy. But she had something like 30 people in that class, and it was a beginner class, and she was one person teaching the class, and she just couldn't show us what to do the way we needed to. She had directions on there, but I was sitting next to somebody who had done it before, and it was nice because they ended up showing me, and I started understanding it, but it was really hard for me to get those little loops to go in the right place. You have to use pliers to try and get these metal loops into the right places. So even though she showed me and I kind of caught onto it, I got of a whole bracelet, I think I got this much done in 2 hours. So it really wasn't. She told me that the lady sitting next to me who knew what she was doing, she said the directions were wrong and they were not helpful at all, which I found to be true. They were not helpful at all. I couldn't tell you if they were wrong because I didn't know what I was doing. But it was okay. At least I knew that that's not for me. Yeah, that was too, for a beginner class, 30 is way too many. I agree with you, Denise. I had 20 in my class, but I did put on there that you have to be an experienced crocheter, and everybody was. So it worked out well. So I made it with part of the class who just wanted to sit and make it with me, and then the other part of the class just wanted to sit there and read the directions and do it themselves. And then if they had a question, they asked me. So it was very laid back and very easy. And it's fun. It was fun having the people there, making something that I created. That was really fun. And then I had my books there too, and quite a few of the people there bought one of my books. So it was definitely a really good experience. And I'd love to do more with yarn spinning. I don't have a ton of time, but here and there I might work on it and then go on YouTube and maybe see if I can do it, learn more tips and stuff. Because, I mean, and it's probably common for people who first start spinning, but everything that I'm doing is chunky yarn. I can't get it thin. But I'm guessing that's pretty common for.
Yeah! Not run!
The boys are watching baseball. So, yeah, and maybe if I get to get a little bit of practice in here and there, maybe I could get better at it and, make the yarn the way I want it with the colors that I want. That's one thing about having all boys. uh, so it was funny when I started this live stream, they were down in the basement working on woodworking together. But since then, they've come up, and even though I'm a floor above them, they're blasting baseball on the downstairs TV. It's blasting. And I thought, my goodness, it sounds like it's just like right here in the upstairs. I'm like, what is there to really hear? I mean, I know that people are commenting on what's going on, but there's not much that you need to hear on a baseball game. You look at it, you see that they made a run, or you see that they struck out or whatever. You don't need to hear the guy screaming it at you. They struck out. I don't know. Is it just me? Can't hear the announcer. Don't worry about us. Okay, good. I'm glad you can't. I can hear it in the background, but we are a floor up from it. So hopefully the camera won't pick it up, won't pick those sounds up. Are you still in California, Joanne? Or are you back home? Oh, you're home. Okay. Until Labor Day. Okay. That's kind of hard. Sounds hard to be back and forth. I'm sorry you have to do that. The emojis were held for review, just in case you were curious, Joanne. I know that for some reason they limit how many emojis you can use in a comment. It's weird. I remember I was doing a live stream and somebody put the Groucho Marx emoji in and it got held for review. And I'm thinking, really? Why? I mean, it was just one. It wasn't because it was too many. They just didn't like that one for some reason. Your sister and you and your sister are alternating. Okay. That gives you a little bit of a break, but still the back and forth has to be hard. I'm just working on that. If anybody was curious, I'm working on that shrug tutorial. I know it doesn't seem like it because it's not like I'm doing a video at the moment of it, but there's some repeats in it, so I'm just crocheting up the repeated part, and then I'll get back to the to videoing it when I get past those repeats. So I figure I may as well get a head start on that. Yes, but neither of us can really do the whole period since we both have family commitments. For sure. For sure. It would be, don't get me wrong, it would be hard to go there and have to stay there too. I wasn't saying that. I just meant the whole thing seems difficult because it's not exactly like just planning out a visit. This is something different. Thank you. You like the shrug? Well, I'll make sure the video tutorial gets up there. It might not be till like Monday or a little bit after Monday because it takes some time to get a little bit of length on it. But I'm glad you guys like it. It was fun to make up. I was gonna just buy a pattern, but I didn't see exactly what I was looking for. So it's like, well, I guess I'll just have to make up my own. Joanne, are you doing the Things We're Making Thursday shawl this month, or are you taking a break? I have to tell you guys a secret. It's not really a secret. I think I've told other people. But I hated, she said she couldn't wait for me to leave, but now she's got more stuff going on, but my sister will be there Sunday. Yeah. She'll have to take turns. I did not like this shawl for Things We're Making. No, I can't fit it in this month. I don't think you're missing out, Joanne. I already ripped out what I did and just said, I'm not doing this project. I did up to 17 rows, but I'm not enjoying it. I'm probably never going to wear it. It was starting to fit too small. It's what I'm working on right now. I hope you're liking it, Dawn. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like nobody will ever like this pattern and it's, it just, I did not find it enjoyable at all. And I think other people are ready to just throw in the towel with it too. And I do think it's pretty, but honestly, I don't ever wear shawls, especially if they don't come all the way around. Like mine was fitting to about here, so if I was going to wear it, I would have to hold it the whole time, and I'm not doing that. Plus, like, I don't know. I'm like heat flash central here just because of my age. Sorry if that's TMI, but I would probably never wear it because it would be way too hot. It's written difficult. I have been making a few shortcuts to help. That's awesome. I do agree. Like, I don't think it's impossible because, like, I sat there and I was able to get through 17 rows, but it's just so, how do you want to say it? It's a demanding pattern where you have to sit there and really concentrate on each row. A lot of times when you're making something, you can kind of figure out the row. If they give you a pattern like do 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, you're like, okay, I got that pattern, and you can just sit there and do that row, and then you don't have to look at the directions again until the next row. But for this one, it's like every stitch pattern is different. And so you have to be concentrating on the wording of every single row. You can't just look at what goes on in that row, do that row, look at what goes on the next row. So it's a very demanding pattern, and I was not enjoying that. I like to be able to crochet and, relax. I don't want to be like, oh my God, what's this next stitch? And then I have to look 2 stitches later. Dawn said, even when I concentrate, my stitches still get off. Yeah, I was finding that too. I just really wasn't enjoying it. And then I knew I wasn't going to wear it. And so, I don't know. My initial thought was just to push through anyway, just for the experience. But I feel like I did enough of it to get the experience of that pattern. Plus, I was running out of my first skein of the yarn, and since I knew I was going to rip it out and reuse the yarn for something else, I didn't want to like ruin another skein of yarn. Like, it's not ruined because you can pull it out and still reuse it, but I didn't want to like take it out. I didn't want to take it out of the wrapping and stuff like that. Sorry, somebody texted me in the middle of talking to you and it just threw me off. So if that makes sense, like I don't want to pull it out and mess it up. So yeah, next week I won't have anything to show. I'll just show what I pulled out. And then the following week we can announce what the next pattern will be, which we don't know yet. The founders and I are still discussing that. Dawn said, I love how it looks like bat wings, but I don't know if I would want to do it again or if you'll even finish it. Yeah, I know the feeling. It is very pretty. I mean, I think if I knew I would wear it, then I would have finished it, but I knew I wasn't going to wear it. I knew, yeah. It is a pretty design. It's just very demanding. Plus, I have a lot of things on my plate for this month that I still need to get done. So I thought, well, that's one less thing. It took a little bit of pressure off of me. I made a list. That's my whole list for everything I need to do yet this month. Oh my gosh. It's kind of a quiet night, huh? Somebody decided to turn down the TV downstairs so I'm not hearing it as loud, which is good. Oh, finished another section of this. Woohoo! Yes, I just got off work going to go eat, but have missed you. I missed you too. We should do a live together, Joanne. We should plan that. Send me an email or something. Maybe we can go together. So where are you going to eat? You guys eat out a lot. You eat the best food then. How's it going to be when I go back to work? Crazy. It's going to be crazy because, on top of now working during the day, my boys are both in marching band, and it's super convenient that they're in the same activity. If they were in different activities, it would be even more nuts. But I'm going to have to run them back, and neither of them drive yet. They're 13 and 15. But they're going to need to be driven back and forth to practices, to football games, or at least I have to take them to the schools because they take the buses to the football games. But take them to the school, go to the football games, go to their band competitions on the weekends. Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if crocheting could be a job, huh? I could do a lot more. I felt like I did a decent amount this summer. I published 2 books, 2 crochet pattern books. I got some content ready for Halloween and for Christmas. It is going to be busy. Joanne said she normally eats in. It must be a coincidence that whenever I talk to her about eating, it's always about eating out. So, yeah, and then both of my boys, they love to bowl, so they bowl on a bowling league on Saturdays. So Saturdays are spent with bowling and band competitions. You were so organized. It was impressive. Sometimes you have to be, Joanne, like, I really enjoy this a lot. And if I want to keep doing this, I have to manage my time in a way that it will fit in. So I think it's just out of necessity. I don't know. I'm also like a very structured person. I enjoy routines and having a schedule. So when things change, I just try to look at it as I'm rescheduling my time. But sometimes I will kind of say, I need to do this on this night and this on this night and work on this night, that kind of thing, just to make sure that everything gets done. Making lists, that kind of stuff. But that's just more like of a thing to help me feel a little bit more in control, because I can feel like I'm swirling out of control when everybody is going every which way and I have to figure out, the planning around that. But really, once school starts, I'll be working during the day, but there's going to be activities going on all year, because after marching band season is school bowling season, and then we'll have 2 bowlings going on. We'll have their normal bowling league, and then they'll have the school bowling. And then after bowling is track. And so there's just something every season, which I think is really good for the boys. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I don't wish they were in less activities. I'm really, really glad that they're out there doing things. Joanne said, routines. I think I missed that class. Of course, you have been more You have more moving parts than I do. Yeah. Like I said, necessity, you know, I think necessity causes that. I could very easily double book things. Uh, so I have to figure that out. The one thing that people say I'm making it harder on myself, but for some reason, I just cannot get myself to do like a planner on electronically, you know, like keep my calendar electronically. I still have the physical calendar that the school sends out, and I put our schedules on that. And everybody says, "Oh, it will be so much easier. You can have this online calendar that you can share with your family, and then your family will remember everything that's going on." And I've tried that, but I don't know why it is so much harder for me to organize it electronically, and I tend not to check it electronically either. Like I had everything electronically and then I didn't put it on my regular calendar, and I kept going and checking my regular calendar thinking that there was nothing on it, forgetting that it was all on my electronic calendar. So I don't know, there's just something that does not compute with me when it comes to the electronic calendar. So I don't know. I should like see if there's any pointers or something to try to, because it would be easier for my family too if I could just put it on an electronic calendar and share it with them. They would probably appreciate that more too, because they don't look at my written calendar. So well, it was really, really nice chatting with you guys. I don't mean to be getting off so early. I know it is probably still early for you guys. Yeah, you're still old school too, Denise. Yeah. I don't know. There's just, I wish it could be easy for me. But I think I'm going to head off because we've got bowling tomorrow and we're going to watch our movie, and but I wanted to pop on and say hi to my friends, and I'm really glad you guys came in and were able to chat. So I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you in either my next video or next time I'm able to pop on for a live. I might try to do one Sunday. So Joanne, if you're available on Sunday, shoot me an email. We'll see if we can do that. So yeah, have a beautiful night yourself too, Joanne. Thank you all for being